Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Next Level. My name is Peter Burke. I'm a health and development coach. And on this episode, I want to talk a little bit about myself, how I started on my journey to a new, healthier lifestyle, and what led me to making these decisions and changes in my life. So let's get going. I'm out here today taking a nice walk on the beach. Beautiful day here in New York. And I figured that this is a great opportunity for me to introduce myself a bit more to you, tell you a little bit about me, how I got involved with health and development coaching, and what things came up in my life that led me to understanding and realizing basically that I had to make a change in my health. It all started about 8 years ago. I was 48 years old, and I had chronic back pain, hip pain, I had chronic knee pain, and it was all from inflammation. I was 40 pounds overweight. I had recently gone to a doctor, or my doctor, for a physical, and I was told that I was overweight. The cholesterol, the high blood pressure was a problem, and my doctor basically said it's time to get on some cholesterol medication. I said, that's not something I want to do. I really want to do something to change and give me an opportunity to do so. So we made a decision together to let me go on my way and making changes in my life. And I knew it was all dietary, it was lifestyle change, and more than just the food, more than just adding more exercise or adding exercise back into my life, I should say. It was the mindset. It was changing the way I thought about things and basically opening my mind, because I had worked myself into a closed mind. My wife and I had a son 13 years ago. He was born prematurely. He weighed 1 pound, 6 ounces. We went through hell. He more so than us, but we just stopped taking care of ourselves. Thank God today he's a 13-year-old rock and roll drummer who's enjoying his life, and he's a healthy little boy, so thank God for that. But in that process, a lot of stuff got away from us. And once he started doing better, we didn't change what we were doing. We were continuing on with our healthy, or I should say unhealthy food choices, living a sedentary lifestyle. There's a picture right here I'm going to show you that is of me and my son. Years ago, I'm laying on a couch, sound asleep, overweight, and I wasn't feeling good. I had no energy. I had very low energy, in fact, and started doing some research. And I made a promise to myself that I was going to make a change. I was 48 years old. I should not feel like I was going into the end years of my life, because that's how I felt. So what I did was I started researching. I got myself back on track with diet, not a diet, but diet plan, and I enrolled in school. I realized that this is something I really wanted to do. I became passionate about wanting to fix myself and sharing everything with my family so they're all feeling good. And it was something that I became so passionate about, I couldn't wait to share with other people. I eventually then started my health coaching practice. But when I went back to school for coaching and learning about food and the state of food in this country, other countries, I was really appalled. Really, we call them frankenfoods. These are not foods that should be eaten by anybody. And it's all just mass-produced, overly processed foods that are built and fabricated by scientists and chemists to be sitting on shelves for years at a time. And this is just not something that our body recognizes. So the decision I made was to stop and change everything. I cut sugar out entirely. I cut meat out entirely. And I do not recommend doing this to anyone out there who's watching, and I certainly do not take this drastic approach with my clients. But I had stopped everything. I stopped eating dairy, meat, sugar, basically crappy carbs, and I stopped all at one time. But it is fascinating how immediately I started dropping weight rapidly. It was not done the right way, but I dropped a lot of weight. I instantly stopped with the chronic pain. The inflammation started going away, and I lost 40 pounds. My cholesterol numbers dropped by 47 points. My blood pressure was back on track, and it was perfect. And it was all a result of eating and then starting to exercise. So what I did was, for myself, I realized this diet that I was on, by cutting everything out at once, was not only felt deprivational, but I didn't feel good again. I started feeling weak, and it's because I was doing some severe detoxing with all of that fat that I was shedding, all of those fat cells that were were bursting in my body, I was releasing all the toxins that had built up over time. And that was just a lousy feeling. It was not much better than the way I felt prior to making these changes to my health. So what I had to do was I had to find my proper balance, and I had to get my diet back on track and understand what I needed to do to get myself feeling good and strong. And I did. I worked on all different things. I started reintroducing certain meats and organics and organic proteins back into my system. That's how I started really feeling strong. And the promise that I made to myself, to my wife, my son, my daughter, was that by the age of 50 years old, I was going to be in optimal shape and I was going to be in the best physical shape in my life. And I thankfully was able to achieve that, and I had the support from everybody in my family, which is a key thing as well. And we'll go into all of these different things in all of the different episodes as we go through this whole process of a healthy, happy lifestyle. A large part of what I was learning was it was not only the food. The food is a small part of it. The exercise and getting off your ass and moving again is a huge part of it. But, you cannot out-train a bad diet. So it's all those combined, but I really call them the big three. It all starts up here. It all starts in your head. It all starts with your mind. It starts with opening your mind. It starts with having the ability to realize that it's time for you to make a change when you don't feel well. You see, you can do certain things and do certain habits and eat certain things from time to time. That's one thing. But as you're doing it over a course of time, you really are creating a lot of chaos and damage within your body. And for most people, sadly, and a lot of my clients are like this, they don't start waking up and realizing that it's time to make a change and time to start taking preventive measures until they're told by a doctor that there's some sort of an issue. Whether it's life-threatening issues or it's just similar to what I had, where it's cholesterol levels or high blood pressure. So many people wait until it's too late, and that's really, it's a shame, because as adults we get stuck in routines. We work endless hours, we are doing things for our family, we're running from event to event, we're taking our children all over the place, and we're not realizing that we're forgetting about the most important people, and that's ourselves. We give up on health, we give up on our self-care, and this is really a huge problem in this country. There's a tremendous issue with obesity in this country. The foods that we're eating in this country are appalling, and I've heard a few people, including Dr. Daniel Amen, a world-renowned psychiatrist, who says that the food of today is really, those are the weapons of mass destruction. They're killing us. So once you get to a point in your life when you realize that it's time for a change, it doesn't matter when it is. It's just don't wait until it's too late. Great thing is many of the issues that people have from diet-related issues, these chronic diseases, that a lot of it is reversible. So we're going to get into all of these different subjects. We're going to get into all of this as we go together, and I hope to introduce many different ideas and plans and ways. And it's not only going to be about food, it's going to be about fitness, it's going to be about opening our mind, it's going to be about personal development. What the role of personal development plays in our overall health and our overall happiness. You see, you cannot just eat bowls of kale every day and then do everything else that's not right and hope to be living a healthy lifestyle. It just doesn't work. It's the overall process. It's the big three and then some. So hopefully together we'll take this journey. Hope you'll join me on this journey. And if this all sounds good to you, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Hit the little bell so you get notified each and every time I post new videos. And here's to a healthy, happy lifestyle, and go out and be extraordinary. Till next time.